This is what the top part of the dress looks like so far. On the back side I had to add some extra fabric because I kind of miscalculated. So I have this big piece of fabric which I'm going to use for the dress part. So first I'm measuring the lengths, and the measurements were 51 inches to 60 something inches. So first I had to draw the skirt part, which is going to be a circle, and this is where the math comes in. So first I measure the diameter to be 55 inches, and then I have to make another circle in the middle for the waist part. And then I just measured my waist and added some inches to it to make it bigger so I can sew it together, and that was 31 inches. And if you do circumference equals pi d and do the math, you would get the diameter would equal about 10 inches. So if you do 55 inches minus 10 inches and divided by 2, the two sides would be 22.5 inches. 22.5 inches is not that long, it's only past my knees, and for my dress I want it to be longer, but I can't really do anything. But it's okay because in my design I'm going to be putting another layer underneath it to make it longer with the tulle and the lace. So now I'm gonna be cutting out the circle. So right now it's like a rectangle, so I just cut off the excess to make it a perfect square, and then I just marked the midpoints of each side. And now I'm using the ruler thing to make a perfect circle, and I'm using the ruler as kind of like a compass to make the circle. I just put the ruler in the middle and then hold it in place and then just move the ruler. I don't know how to explain it, but you can see what I'm doing here. And yeah, after I did that, I just cut it out, and I only cut out one side because I knew it wasn't going to be a perfect circle, so I just folded it in half and then cut it and fold it in half and cut it again, and that will give you the most accurate circle. Okay, so after that I started cutting out the smaller circle, and this is what it looks like on. It's really big as you can see, but I'm gonna fix that later. So now my plan to make the skirt part longer is to use this mesh thing or tulle. So this is like a really long fabric, so I cut this in half, and then I just put it around the skirt to see how much I had, and it ended up being the perfect amount. Then I just altered the tulle thing to make the edges neat, and then I started pinning it onto the skirt. First the tulle was in a circular shape, and then I pinned one side of the tulle onto the dress, and then the opposite side I pinned on the opposite side of the tulle thing, and then I just did the other side and pinned it on and got the opposite side and pinned it on too. That doesn't make any sense, but I have this drawing here. So after that it looked like this, and finally I just sewed that on, and now I'm going to make the lace layer on top of it. So first I laid out the dress parts, and then I got my lace curtain, and one was not enough, so I used two. And my mom has like a lot of these. They're from a long time ago and she never uses them. So yeah, I just laid out both of them, and then I just scrunched it around because there was like a scallop end to it, so I wanted that to be like the trim of the layer. And I thought I needed an extra curtain, but so I used another one, but I ended up cutting that out, so I only needed two. So now it's in a circular position, so now I started cutting out the excess parts. This is kind of a waste of fabric, but it's okay. So after that I just pinned it all together, and this is what it looks like so far. And the lace part looks kind of long, so I shortened it, and now I'm just cutting off the excess lace at the top, and now it's exactly how I want it to be. So this is how the skirt looks at the end. So now I'm going to leave the dress part alone and go back to the top part. So now I'm going to add the, I don't know what this is called, but the holes for the ribbon to go through so it can tie up like a corset. So I have these circle thingies, and I'm just drawing it to measure, and then I'm folding it in half and drawing circles again to make sure it aligns perfectly. Then I'm cutting out the holes, and I know there's some kind of tool to put the circle parts together, but I'm too lazy to figure out how that works, and I think I actually tried that once and it didn't work. So I'm just using hot glue, and this is faster and more efficient. So yeah, now I'm getting the ribbon again, and I'm just measuring how much I need, and you can just eyeball this too. Now I have both the top part and the skirt part finished. Now I can connect them together, so I'm just pinning them and then I just sew them together. Now for the waist of the skirt part, so it doesn't fall down, I'm doing kind of a drawstring thingy. So kind of right there, I'm gonna add a ribbon and sew it there. and the same for the other side. And then I'm going to sew down the trim, but leaving like a space in between for the ribbon to go through. And then I get a safety pin and pin it to the ribbon, and then just thread it inside the hole, and then it should come out like this. And do this for the other side, and now you have a drawstring that can adjust the size. And then I just put the corset ribbon onto it, and this is like the rough draft. It's really crooked, as you can see there. I fixed some parts, and yeah, that's basically it. And also I put a ribbon on the back. So this is what it looks like at the end. I compared it with the actual Bridgerton dress, and my top part is kind of longer than the original one, which doesn't really match the fashion style. So I don't know if I should classify this as a fail, but I still like it. Maybe it's like a modern Bridgerton dress. And also, like, the fabric is very coarse, especially the lace one, so it's kind of uncomfortable to wear. And also, like, the drawstring part, I could have tied it better to make my waist show more, but I didn't have anyone to help me, so I kind of look like a rectangle. So to fix this problem, I just used the ribbon I have on the back, and I just tied it in the front, and I think that made my waist show a little bit more. So yeah, this is what the final dress looks like. I don't think I'll be wearing this outside since it is really uncomfortable, but I really like it. I think it's fashionable, but I think it's more of an artwork than an outfit. But yeah,